everyone, welcome to today's activity. For today's activity, we're going to be playing a simple underhand toss and catching game from Australia. It's a children's game that has been played there for a long time. Now typically they play it with a tennis ball. Now if you don't have a tennis ball or your parents don't want you to play with one in the house, you can use any type of ball. So I have several different types of balls here, as you can see. Most of them are soft, and you could even play with a beanbag if you have one of these laying around. If not, here's a very easy way to make a ball. To start with a pair of socks, start rolling from the bottom. Once you get towards the top, all you have to do is open up both ends and push the rolled up part to the inside. And voila, you have a sock ball that you can use that won't break anything in the house. Now to play this game, you're playing one person against another, and we're going to use these little squares here for our playing area. Now that is just to ensure fairness, because the tosses have to be good tosses and they have to be catchable for the opponent. And we'll go over that in just a moment. Now the game is simple. You will toss a ball to your opponent, and if your opponent does not catch it, they have to put one knee down. If they don't catch a second ball, they have to put their other knee down. You keep playing, but now your knees are stuck to the ground. If they don't catch another ball, you have to put one elbow on the ground, and you can still play. If you don't catch another ball, that elbow goes down. And if you don't catch the next ball, you would have to put your head down. And at that point, the game is over and you can start over again. So you will need an opponent for this game. You can play against your brother or your sister, one of your parents or a grandparent. Anyone in the house is fine. So for me, I'm going to play against Mrs. B. So Mrs. B is coming out and she's going to be playing on the purple square. Now, if you don't have one of these squares, that's okay too. You can quickly make an easy one out of some socks. I just brought a bunch of socks, and all you have to do is just line them up and make a little playing area. Now the reason you want a playing area is to make sure that it's fair, because you don't want to be arguing with your opponent about a bad toss. So for instance, if Mrs. B tosses me a ball and it's way over here, I can't reasonably be expected to catch that. So again, it just ensures fairness. By the same token, when I toss my ball back, it would have to land on her square. So we're going to be using the squares, not the socks. So let me clean up our area here and get rid of the socks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let Mrs. B select whichever ball she would like to play, and then she will go back towards her square, and she will toss the ball towards me. So I have to be ready to catch. Now you'll notice Mrs. B is towards the back of her square. I'm actually a little bit off of it, which is fine. The goal is for her to toss the ball somewhere onto the square. If it doesn't hit the square, I don't have to catch it. So this way, when I'm standing a little bit behind it, I can protect the whole square. All right, we're ready to begin. So notice that was a good toss by Mrs. B. It was low, but it was going to hit the square, so that was a good, fair catch that I almost didn't catch. Another good one for Mrs. B. So notice she's being kind of strategic and not giving great score. Oh, I didn't catch it. So I have to now go down to one knee. So I continue the game from one knee. And toss. Oh. Oh no, I dropped another one. So now I have to put my second knee on the ground, and we continue play. So Mrs. B is winning. I have two knees on my square. I can still catch any ball on the square, and I can still use either of my arms. So you'll notice some of the balls that we're throwing are not going to land on the square. You don't have to catch those, but as long as it's reasonably close to you, you should probably go ahead and catch it. In Australia, by the way, they don't actually use the playing square. We just did that for fairness. Okay, so that one, I didn't catch it, but it did not hit the square, so I didn't have to. I continued playing from my knees. And, oh, I dropped another one. So now I have to put one of my elbows on the ground. Now, at this point, it's important to probably make sure you put your non-dominant or your opposite elbow on the ground so you can continue to toss and catch with your dominant hand. So now I'm stuck. I only have two more to go. Now the tosses will get harder for me at this point, and catching will definitely get harder, but I can still win if Mrs. B will drop a ball. Oh, I dropped another one. So now I have to put another elbow on the ground. Now at this point, the game is going to get really tough. It's very hard to toss, so I will have to try my best. I'm going to go ahead and move my elbows up a little bit. So I caught that one. Still in. All right, Mrs. V did not catch that one. So she puts one knee on the ground. Just one knee, Mrs. V. Oh, I dropped it. So now I'd have to put my head down. And that means Mrs. V is the winner of that game. And now we can just play again. Now to make this, or to add challenges to this game, you can try a different type of ball. You can try a bigger one, a smaller one. You can move your squares or your socks further away from each other. So you can modify this game in different ways to make it more challenging. So that's it, guys. Down, down, down. Hope you have fun. See you next time.